हेलो मेरे प्यारे बच्चों, welcome back to another super simple guide to help you absolutely ace your exams. I know they're just around the corner, so we are going to make learning easy and fun. So go on, hit that subscribe button and let's get you those full marks.
Okay, let's get right into it. Tell me honestly, have you ever had one of those small, silly arguments with your parents? You know, about watching just one more YouTube short, or maybe asking for the fifth time when dinner will be ready? I'm sure you have. It happens in every single family, right?
Well, these little moments, these tiny disagreements and funny conversations, that's exactly what today's beautiful poem For Elkana is all about. It just goes to show you that some things about family life never really change.
So who wrote this wonderful poem? Let's meet the poet, the one and only Nissim Ezekiel. He's a really important name in modern Indian literature.
You see, Nissim Ezekiel was a true Mumbaikar, born and brought up right there in Mumbai. He became one of our country's most famous poets who wrote in English. But he wasn't just a poet. The man was a professor, he wrote plays, he was a critic. What a talent, eh? A true literary genius.
All right, let's jump into the poem itself. I want you to imagine this whole thing like a short little movie playing in your head. The scene is a simple family evening. No big drama, just a very real, very ordinary moment. So, it all begins on a nice, warm April evening. The family decides to take their chairs out onto the lawn to just relax. The mood is super peaceful, very calm. They're just sprawling, sitting in that lazy, super relaxed way, just chilling.
So, the picture is pretty perfect, isn't it? A family just trying to have a nice, quiet evening together. But, as we all know, perfect quiet doesn't last very long in a family, does it? This is kind of like the calm before the, well, not a storm, but maybe a tiny little ripple in the water.
And there it is, the first little bit of tension. The wife, being practical, looks around and spots a broken window that needs fixing. But the husband, he's the narrator of our poem, he doesn't want to talk about chores. He just wants to chill. So what does he do? He just mentally logs out and pretends not to hear her.
See, this is the main point, the communication gap. The wife sees a problem and wants to talk about it. The husband wants to avoid any kind of discussion. It's kind of like when your mom is telling you something important, but you've got that trending Instagram reel playing in your head on a loop, and you just zone out. That's exactly what's happening here.
But just then, a new character makes his entry. It's their 7-year-old son, and he stands there all determined and makes a very clear demand. "Mummy, I want my dinner, now." Get that? He's not asking politely, he's telling her. He means business.
And just like that, suddenly, the husband and wife are on the same team. They don't even have to say a word. They just share this one single thought. Children must be disciplined. In that one moment, their own little disagreement about the window is totally forgotten. The poet calls this an unusual rapport, like a secret little agreement between them.
So the mother tries the classic parent move. Wait for 5 minutes. But this kid, he comes back with the most amazing, simple logic. He says, "No, I'm hungry now. In 5 minutes, my hunger will be gone. So what's the point of eating then?" I mean, come on, that is absolutely flawless logic from a 7-year-old.
So what do you think happens next? The boy's logic is so clever and so cute that it just breaks all the tension. His mother just bursts out laughing. And that one sound, that delightful laughter, it fixes everything. It's like magic. It brings the whole family together, and they all go inside, happy again. Okay, story time is over. Now let's put on our exam brain hats. This is the part where we're going to dig a little deeper and find all those juicy points for your answers. Let's do this. So the most important thing to remember from this poem is the different styles of communication. You have the wife, who's practical. You have the husband, who avoids conflict. And then you have the son, who is super direct and logical. He just says what he feels, right then and there. These different approaches are what create the small everyday drama.
And now, for the super-duper important part. Let's look at some sure-shot questions that could pop up in your exam from this chapter. If you get this part right, you are all set for full marks.
This is a classic question, bachcho. The examiner basically wants to see if you understood the flow of events and the relationships between the characters in the poem.
So here's how you answer it, point by point. It starts with quiet, then a small complaint, the husband zones out, the child makes a direct demand, the parents secretly team up, and finally, laughter solves everything. Just lay out these steps in your answer, and you're golden.
Okay, let's tackle the second big question. This one is all about the turning point of the poem, that brilliant argument from the son. Why does his logic actually make perfect sense? The answer is really simple. For a child, feelings are like an on-off switch. He's hungry right now. For him, food is the solution to the problem called hunger. So if the problem, the hunger, isn't there in 5 minutes, then why would he need the solution? It's such a pure and simple logic that even the adults can't argue with it.
Phew, that was some good, serious analysis. So now, how about a fun little bonus treat from your textbook to end our session on a happy note? Let's talk about something called a limerick.
So what's a limerick? It's just a short, funny 5-line poem. It has a special rhyming pattern. The first, second, and fifth lines all rhyme, and the third and fourth lines rhyme with each other. And the last line is always the punchline, the main joke.
Let's read the one from your book. It's actually quite funny. A novice was driving a car when, down the road, his son said, "Papa, if you drive at this rate, we are bound to be late. Drive faster." He did, and they are. Ha! Get it? The joke is a play on words. By trying not to be late, they ended up in a situation where they are late. It's a clever little poem, isn't it?
And that brings us to the end. So I'll leave you with a little thought. What small, funny, or even slightly annoying moments from your own family could become a poem, just like For Elkana? Think about it. Poetry isn't just in books, it's all around us in our daily lives. Thank you so much for joining me. Please share this with your friends, and do let me know what you think in the comments. All the very best for your exams. Bye for now.